Have you ever crammed in a lightness study session, completing an assignment 10 minutes before it is due, or stayed up all night studying for a big test? I know I have had my fair share of late nights and stressful due dates, and we do it all for a number, a grade, or a letter. Only for our peers to judge us off this number or letter and label us one of three things: smart, average, or dumb. Does the number really determine how much you have to learn? Grades fail to accurately represent learning because they focus on performance rather than understanding. Today I will talk about what grades are for, the difference between memorization and learning, and how grades fail to account for strengths and weaknesses. According to Harvard Graduate School of Education, grades are the ways teachers calculate and report students' performances. This means that a grade is based on how well a student does on the exam or test, not on how much they actually learn. They also serve as a measurement of how well students meet learning objectives and standards set by teachers, schools, or educational institutions. Grades also act as a tool for communication, providing feedback to students, parents, and educators about a student's progress and areas that might require improvement. Though all these things help communicate how a student is doing, how does it actually show learning? I bet you can remember a time when you crammed in everything before the night before a test, only to take the test the next day and forget almost everything the test was on. This is because you were memorizing the material and not learning it. Unfortunately, schools today promote memorization because of short due dates and a lot of information being crammed into one agenda. Teachers just want you to soak up a bunch of information and like a sponge almost, and they'll squeeze you out after the test and give you some more information to soak back up. According to an article by studyfinds.org, researchers found that average educated American forgot about 40% of all they have learned. This includes only 37% being used for their daily life. This means 40% of the information is gone forever, like everyone, you forget it. And this is because many people only memorize stuff and they never really learned it. We are force-fed mass amounts of information and crammed with due dates, which causes the lack of learning. Grades ignore strengths and weaknesses, focusing more on the result than the process. If one were to have two tests in one day, they would probably study for the test they would do better on, or worse on, than the class that they might excel in. This allows for students to be all around average and not excel in one particular material. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence highlights that individuals excel in different ways in logistics, logical, and artistic, etc. Yet grades are often biased towards traditional academic skills. This means that someone may be better at band or theater, but are forced to fit the academic protocol, basically math and science, or ELA or all those other science or all these other classes. Many brilliant people have been seen as average because they can only exceed in one subject. To review, we went over what grades are for, the difference between memorization and learning, how grades fail to account for strengths and weaknesses. Overall, grades are ineffective and outdated. Why? Way they represent learning. Grades are just a way to show how a student is doing, not how much they have learned. Grades prioritize memorization in order to get good grades rather than actually learning the material. Finally, grades make you focus on what you are bad at rather than what you excel at. True learning isn't about chasing a number or letter. It is about growth, curiosity, and skill that you can carry beyond the classroom. It is time to stop letting grades define us and start valuing understanding that truly shapes our future.